Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be tackling a question that's got everyone talking these days. Is generative AI, is it a threat to creativity, or is it actually the ultimate tool for innovation? I mean, think about it. We're seeing AI compose music, write code, even create art. Like, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to see this all play out in real time.
Yeah.
Take Beanie Sigel, for instance. He's using AI to, make a comeback in the music world. It really makes you think, could AI actually help artists, reach new heights creatively?
That's what I find so interesting about this whole thing. And it's not just about AI replacing humans. It's more like AI is becoming like a partner, in the creative process.
Exactly. And it's not just limited to music either.
Yeah.
Mistral AI just launched Codestral 25.01, which is a generative AI specifically for coding.
Okay, so for those of us who, aren't coding wizards, what does that actually mean?
Well, imagine having an AI assistant that can take care of all those tedious and repetitive coding tasks. It basically frees up human developers to focus on the more creative and, complex aspects of building software.
So it's like AI is handling all the grunt work so humans can focus on the big picture stuff. But does that mean we're heading towards a future where AI is calling all the creative shots?
That's the big question, isn't it? On one hand, AI has the potential to democratize creativity, making tools and resources available to everyone regardless of their background.
Hmm.
But there's also this concern that AI could lead to a homogenization of art, where everything starts to look and sound the same.
Right, like will we all end up listening to the same like algorithmically perfect pop song?
Yeah.
Or could AI actually help us discover like whole new genres of art that we can't even imagine yet?
Yeah, that's the exciting part. It's still so unknown. But one thing's for sure, AI is raising some serious ethical questions. We have to consider things like copyright infringement, the potential for AI-generated art to, devalue human originality, and of course, the very real fear of job displacement in creative industries.
It's definitely a lot to wrap our heads around. I mean, we're essentially talking about a potential shift in what it even means to be creative, right?
Absolutely. And you can see this playing out in public opinion. Some people are embracing AI as, the next renaissance in art, while others are, deeply concerned about losing that human touch.
It's a fascinating debate, and honestly, there are valid points on both sides. So where do you stand on this? Do you lean more towards team innovation or team preservation?
Hmm. It's tricky because I see both the potential benefits and the risks. What's
Hmm.
encouraging, though, is that policymakers are also grappling with these issues. For example, the European Union is working on the AI Act, which aims to strike a balance between promoting AI innovation and protecting cultural uniqueness.
So it sounds like there's a global conversation happening about how to navigate this uncharted territory. It's like we're standing at a crossroads, and the choices we make now will have a huge impact on the future of creativity, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important for everyone to be a part of this conversation. We need to understand the complexities, weigh the potential benefits and risks, and ultimately make informed decisions about how we want AI to shape our creative landscape.
I couldn't agree more. So for all of you listening out there, what are your initial thoughts on all of this? Does the idea of AI as a creative partner excite you, or does it make you a little uneasy?
It's interesting you mentioned that feeling of unease because it kind of taps into a deeper question. If AI can create, what does that say about our own creativity? Like, does it make human expression less special, or does it challenge us to push our own creative boundaries even further?
Yeah, it's almost philosophical, isn't it? We're
Yeah.
talking about what makes us unique as humans. And this conversation goes way beyond just art.
You're right. It's not just art. We're seeing AI being used in, scientific discovery, in business, even in healthcare and education.
So for the average person out there, how will all of this impact our daily lives?
It's hard to predict the full extent, you know, but AI is definitely becoming more and more integrated into our lives.
Which is why I think these conversations are so important.
Hmm.
We need to understand both the benefits and the risks of AI.
Exactly. And a big concern for a lot of people is the potential for job displacement.
Yeah, it's a valid concern for sure. And it's not just creative fields either. A lot of industries are worried about automation and how it will impact their workforce.
And AI will likely accelerate that trend,
Yeah.
but I think the key here is adaptability. We need to be willing to learn new skills and embrace new technologies.
So it's not about fearing AI, it's about learning to work with it.
Exactly. We should be focusing on areas where humans still have a clear advantage. Things like critical thinking, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving.
So it's about seeing AI as a tool that can enhance our capabilities,
Mhm.
not replace us entirely.
Yes, and potentially even help us solve some of the world's most challenging problems.
It's almost like AI is forcing us to evolve and rethink what we're capable of as humans.
In a way, it's pushing us to be more creative and embrace the unknown.
Even with all the uncertainty, there's a sense of possibility here that's pretty exciting, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. We're living in a time of incredible technological advancement, and AI is at the forefront. We have the power to decide what kind of future we want to create with it.
It really feels like we're at a pivotal moment. The choices we make today will have a lasting impact on the world of tomorrow.
And that realization comes with a responsibility to educate ourselves, engage in these discussions and make informed decisions about AI's role in our society.
It's not just about the technology itself. It's about the human values and ethics that guide its development.
Exactly. We need to ask ourselves what kind of society we want to build, what our priorities are, and how AI can help us get there.
That's a crucial point. Technology is a tool, and it's up to us to use it wisely.
I think that's a really important message for our listeners today.
Okay, so we've explored the potential benefits and risks of AI. We've talked about the ethical considerations, and we've emphasized the importance of human values in shaping the future of this technology.
And we've also highlighted the need for adaptability, continuous learning, and a willingness to embrace the unknown.
This has been a really thought-provoking conversation. I feel like we've only scratched the surface of this complex topic.
Yeah, there's still so much more to explore, so many questions to answer, and so many possibilities to imagine.
It's kind of crazy to think about how AI is already being used in creative fields. Like we talked about Beanie Sigel using AI for music,
Yeah.
but there's so much more going on right now.
Yeah, one of the most exciting things is how accessible these AI tools are becoming. There are platforms out there that let anyone, even if you don't have a technical background, you can experiment with AI-generated music art, even writing.
So you're saying it's not just for the techie people. Anyone can use AI to be creative.
Exactly. It's really democratizing creativity. It gives people from all walks of life the power to express themselves in totally new ways.
That's awesome, but I'm sure some people are still a little hesitant. Like, if a machine can create art, does it have the same soul? Does it have the same value?
I get it. It's a valid question. It really gets to the heart of what makes human creativity special. But AI is a tool, an extension of our own imagination.
So it's not about AI replacing artists. It's about giving them new ways to express themselves.
Exactly. Think about the invention of photography. Back then, some painters felt threatened, like their art form was becoming obsolete. But photography didn't replace painting. It just opened up new creative possibilities.
I see what you mean. Maybe AI isn't the death of creativity, but like a rebirth. A new chapter in the story of human expression.
Exactly. And this chapter is just beginning. We're only scratching the surface of what's possible when human creativity meets AI.
So let's get specific. What are some examples of AI being used in creative fields right now?
Well, we talked about Beanie Sigel using AI for music, but there are some really cool examples in visual art, too. There are AIs that can generate super realistic images, even abstract pieces that challenge our ideas of what art can be.
Oh, are you talking about those AI-generated images that are all over the internet?
Yes, some people might think they're just gimmicks, but they represent a big shift in how we create and experience art.
And it's not just visual art, right? I've heard about AI writing scripts for movies and TV shows.
Totally. There are even AI tools that can analyze scripts and give feedback on things like the plot, the characters, the dialogue. It's like having a virtual writing partner.
That's pretty wild. But
Wow.
what about the concerns we talked about earlier, like job displacement, copyright issues,
Yeah.
the potential for AI content to flood the market?
Those are important concerns, and we need to think about them carefully. AI is a powerful tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It's up to us to make sure it's used ethically and responsibly.
So we need to be proactive in shaping the future of AI, having these conversations now before things move too fast.
Absolutely. We need to talk to policymakers, industry leaders, the public, everyone, to make sure AI is developed in a way that aligns with our values.
It's a big task,
Yeah.
but an important one. We're not just talking about the future of art or technology. We're talking about the future of humanity.
It's about making sure AI serves humanity, not the other way around.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with a feeling of wonder, but also a sense of responsibility wonder at the potential of AI and responsibility to make sure it's used to benefit everyone.
I think that sums it up perfectly. We're at a crossroads, a time of amazing opportunity, but also big challenges. And it's up to all of us to shape the future of AI in a way that reflects our values.
Who knows? Maybe one day we'll look back on this as the start of a new era of creativity, an era where the lines between humans and machines become blurred, not to diminish us, but to empower us to create things we never thought possible.
It's an exciting thought, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the fascinating world of AI and creativity. I hope this conversation has given you some new things to think about.
This is just the start of a much bigger conversation, so keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep talking about AI's role in our world.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery. Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying.